all the Southsiders have different dress code, they have a different lingo, and I'm gonna have to disagree with that 100% because Renegade made it seem like people just go over there and drop them off, right? Like on purpose, like, oh, you should start a party right here. The majority of those guys who are saying this, trust me, they haven't even seen a norteño in their life. Probably they haven't even been in prison to actually see a norteño. What do my gente? What's coming through once again with a new video. And on today's video, I'm gonna give you my opinion of a upstater, a southern, or somebody who pushes the sur, and is from Northern California or Central California. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I saw a video by Renegade Media that he posted 2 years ago, and somehow it popped up on my feed, right? I seen it and I was like, I'm interested on his opinion, right? Since he's from the Centro Valle, let's see what he thinks, right? So I saw it, I was like, okay, you know what? I think I need to make a video about this, like a reaction, and cover his points because I don't agree with most of them, you know? And that's just my humble opinion. He's entitled to his opinion, possibly, maybe, he has changed in certain aspects, but let's get to it, right? First thing that he talks about is how he was watching a channel that has to do with Southsiders from up north. They're rapping, right? And in the comment section, there's a lot of people from Southern California talking smack, talking about their long hair. They should just become a northerner. They should just basically talking smack. And I do agree with this. I have seen this from people from Southern California, and where they think they're better. And I'm not saying everybody, man, because different people are gonna be different, right? There's gonna be people who are gonna have respect for the homies up north. There's people who are not gonna have respect for the homies up north. Let's just put it this way. A lot of people from Southern California have hate, you know, towards norteños. I'm talking about rappers, I'm talking about platforms. And always, it seems that always is like, norteños this, we are this, and stuff like that. But in reality, how many of those individuals have actually banged against a hood from Northern California, a norteño hood? How many of those guys have even seen a norteño that was not on social media, actually in person, and even bang on him? The majority of those guys who are saying this, trust me, they haven't even seen a norteño in their life. Probably they haven't even been in prison to actually see a norteño. But sure enough, they want to push this narrative, you know? Of course, when you go to prison, you know that you can't have so much animosity to a certain norteño because that means something else, right? And the homies from the upstate, from Northern California, who are pushing the sur, are those who are game banging against the norteños, are those who see them every so often and they have to get down, right? Plain and simple. So I do agree with that when it comes down to the video of Renegade Media where he touched down, right? I have seen this a lot. He said that in his opinion that it's starting from, I guess, the city above Bakersfield and up, all the Southsiders have different dress code, they have a different lingo, and I'm gonna have to disagree with that 100% because me being from the Centro Valle, whenever we had meetings with different gangs and stuff like that, I seen everybody's dress code, right? And to be honest, like, I see every dress like a homie, meaning your shaved head, your baggy pants, not sagging, you know, with your shirts. Could be a black, blue, or white one. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Same dress code. Whatever your 501s or whatever your dickies or whatever you're going to put on. You know? The one with the monkey. Ben Davis. The Ben Davis. And that was the dress code. Now, the thing, and I'm talking about Fresno County, Tulare County, and Kings County, right? The Central Valle, right? I have seen people from the 209 still dressing like that, right? Again, I haven't had the chance to be in a meeting with them, but through social media, I've seen that that's how they're dressing. Now, when it comes to the Bay, now that's when everything changed. The lingo, the dress code, and everything. And I'm saying by experience, coming across people in prison that were from Richmond, right? And the way how they speak, the way how they dress, those guys did have long hair. And of course, I'm like confused, like, hold on, what? You're a homie, but you have a long hair? And they were from I think the barrio is called RST. And this the way they speak, the way I was intrigued with how they do it over there, right? And I used to ask questions, but they came from the Bay, and that's their culture, how they behave, So you cannot be upset about it, You have to understand it, and I guess that's the way for me to understand. Just ask questions about it, and those guys, they did sag some way, like you can tell that they had like the boxers up a little bit, and I'm like, what? Like it was different, right? But Southern California, from Central California, they don't have that lingo. They don't dress like that. Nobody's sagging. At least that's how it was when I was out there on the streets. All that ninja stuff. We didn't use that lingo at all. That's something I see from now from up north. Now I don't know if it has changed now. Again, I have seen people from Southern California use that lingo as well. So things have changed now. Another point that I do want to bring up is that the whole thing with Mafia, right? At this point, he was saying that Mafia was just barely getting involved with the hoods and stuff like that, but that's debunked. Mafia been present in Central California, Northern California for a long time. Let's just remember that at one point, everything was one, right? So when they separated, it's not like they say, okay, those from Northern California go over there, those for Southern California go over there. It's separated on a belief, right? So in each group, they're going to have people from Southern and Northern California. Of course, one side had more people from Southern California, and then the other side had more people from Northern California. And the thing about this is that they've been over there, they be linked up with gangs. The thing about the Centro Valle is that they were not linked up. And eventually, I think on the 2010s, they started getting linked up. And I'm not going to go into specific how it happened, stuff like that. But now they're linked up. They have, they're under somebody's umbrella and stuff like that. And that's what it is. Now, another point that I want to bring up is that when hoods start in Northern California, Central California, Renegade made it seem like people just go over there and drop them off, right? Like on purpose, like, oh, you should start a barrio right here. And it's not like that, homie. What happens actually is that the barrio started in Southern California, right? So some way, the family has to move, right? I think I told a story about a family who moved from South Central, moved to a town that I know. They started a gang, and I mentioned what was the reason for their moving, right? Now, there's people who move, right? And eventually they get along with a couple individuals, and they're like, man, I'm from this hood, let's start it right here. So that's how you have different hoods that were from Southern California and Central California. You have the Vegas town, the local park. You have Playboys. You have 18th Street. And it's because those guys moved, their family moved. They decided to start a gang right there. They got in touch with the right people in Southern California, and they made it happen. Some people, they don't even get in touch with them, and they just bring it up, right? At the end of the day, as long as somebody was good in the neighborhood, who was part of the neighborhood, started that neighborhood, it's legit. But that is how things happen. That's how it eventually starts in a different state. They don't go over there and drive and be like, hey, you know what? Kansas looks like it's empty. There's not that many Mexican gangs. We're gonna drop you off right here. Just start a gang and make the money come through, right? It doesn't happen like that. Same with Mexico. When the gang started in Mexico, it's because people got deported, and they still got the same beliefs. So guess what? They're gonna start a neighborhood, and people are gonna join it, right? I think if we wanna tell the story and be like, you know what, they do it for this reason. I mean, you can tell the story, but from being to, I mean, facts to fiction, there's a big gap. So what I'm saying is what I have witnessed, what I know, and I'm sharing. Coming from me, it's a valid point because I am a person who was up there, up north, and banging against the opposite team. And I'm not saying that this is the right way to go about it. I'm giving you information that I know firsthand, you know? So for those who had questions with anything, there it is. So with this being said, we are out to next video. And remember, I'm not saying that this is the right way to go about it. And just every time, just think about the decision that you're gonna make, because it's gonna affect your life for the long run. You know, I'm not here to convince you of going left or going right. At the end of this, that's your decision. And however you want to come out in life, make sure that you do the right moves. So with this being said, we are out to next video. Gracias.